So you're all very welcome to the class this evening. The structure of the class will be similar as always. Today, during the standing asanas, there will be some transitioning. So just again, listen to my cues. Try and focus on your breath as much as possible. When we move into the seated asanas, it will be hips and hamstrings as it usually is on a Tuesday. So as I always say, if it gets too intense, you can always come into child's pose. They can be quite challenging. So with that, we'll get started. If you'd like to lie back onto your mats, feet out to the edge of your mat, gently lie back, drawing your arms away from your body, with your palms facing upwards. Gently bringing your eyes to close and arriving on your mat this evening, letting go of your day, tuning into your body, perhaps recognizing any areas of tension, breathing into these areas with a deep inhale and exhaling release, letting go of any tension, relaxing your entire body. We'll integrate a count into the breathing this evening. Inhaling for 4, holding for 4, exhaling for 4, and holding for 4. And we'll just repeat these cycles. So if you'd like to exhale, completely emptying your lungs. Inhaling, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 2, 3, 4. Inhale, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 2, 3, 4. Continue with these cycles of breath, adding length to your breathing and focusing your mind for your practice. Naturally, the mind may begin to wander away from your breath. Just become aware of the mind wandering and move back to your breath as we move into silence. Bring your awareness back to your body, wiggling your fingers, wiggling your toes, moving your hands and feet, gently moving your head from side to side, waking up your neck, resting your head back at center, keeping your legs extended, joining your heels on your mat, and reaching your arms over your head, pointing your toes, extending through your fingertips, and exhale, release. Gently bend your knees and roll over to your right hand side, making a cushion with your hand, and gently making your way to a comfortable seated position at the front of your mat. Keeping your eyes closed and drawing your hands together at heart center. Thanking yourself for arriving on your mat this evening. You might want to set an intention for your practice. With your intention in mind, bowing your head towards your hands, open your eyes. Namaste. To begin today's class, we're going to warm up the wrists. So gently extend your arms straight out in front of you and make circular motions with your wrists, releasing any tension, and the other direction, gradually making the circles wider, controlled movements, and exhale, you can release your hands back down. We're now going to warm up the shoulders, so place the palms of your hands on the tops of your shoulders and make forward circular motions with your elbows, gradually making the circles wider, connecting to your breath, and the other direction, gradually making the circles wider, and exhale, you can release your hands back down. We're now going to move into a side bend, so placing your right hand flat on your mat beside your right hip, inhaling, raising your left arm over your head, and exhaling, folding out to the right. You can spiral your chest towards the sky as you reach out through your left fingertips and keeping your left sitting bone rooted on your mat. Inhaling, gently coming up, dropping that left hand down, and inhaling, raising your right arm over your head as you fold out to the left, keeping your right sitting bone rooted on your mat as you reach out through your fingertips, breathing into your side body to create space. And inhale, gently come up, dropping your right hand back down. We'll now move into a spinal twist. So placing your right hand behind your back, placing your left arm across your right knee. Inhaling, extending your spine. And exhaling, twisting out to the right. On your inhales, extend. On your exhales, twist. Gently, you can look over your right shoulder. And gradually come back round to center. This time, placing your left hand behind your back. Place your right arm across your left knee. Inhaling, extending your spine. And exhaling, twisting out to the left. On your inhales, extend. On your exhales, twist. Feeling a nice twist to your spine. And exhale, gently come right back round to center. And from here, you can sweep your legs behind you as we move into tabletop. The palms of your hands are at the front of your mat, with your knees tracking under your hips. We move into a cat-cow. So on an inhale, dropping your belly, lifting your tailbone as you open your chest. Exhale, spine up as you roll vertebrae by vertebrae. And draw your chin towards your chest, dropping your tailbone. On an inhale, dropping your belly, lifting your tailbone, opening your chest. And exhale, spine up as you drop your tailbone and draw your chin towards your chest. Imagining you're pushing the floor away from you. And exhale, release, coming back to a neutral spine. From here, we'll warm up our hips. So raising your right knee off your mat, make circular motions with your knee as you warm up your hips, connecting to your breath as you move in the other direction, gradually making those circles wider. And exhale, you can release your knee back down. We'll repeat that on the left side. So raising your left knee off your mat, make circular motions with your knee, gradually making the circles wider, connecting to your breath. And exhale, you can drop your knee back down. And from here, we'll make our way to extended child's pose by joining your big toes on your mat and shifting your knees out to the edge of your mat as you sit your bum towards your heels and reach your arms out ahead. Engaging your fingertips on your mat and sitting your bum towards your heels. Now gently making your way back up to tabletop. And from tabletop, gently tucking your toes and keeping your knees bent. Send your hips towards the sky, coming into downward facing dog. Pedaling your feet to stretch your calves and your hamstrings as you lift your sit bones towards the ceiling. Connecting to your breath. Gently walk your feet towards your hands at the front of your mat. And keeping your knees bent, fold over your knees. Grabbing opposite elbows with your hands. Allowing the crown of your head and your elbows to become heavy. Connecting to your breath. And gently pushing through your feet to make your way to a standing position at the front of your mat. As we prepare for the sun salutations, preparing in mountain pose, your feet are together, quadriceps engaged, standing tall as you roll your shoulders back and down your spine, away from your ears. Connect to your breath. On an inhale, raising your arms, reaching out through your fingertips. Exhale, fold forward over your knees. Inhale, halfway lift, lengthening your spine, opening your chest. Exhale, palms down. You can step or jump your feet back. Lowering your knees and keeping your hips in the air. Lower your chest and chin towards your mat. On an inhale, sliding your chest forward, keeping your elbows bent, coming into low cobra. And exhale, moving through tabletop, tucking your toes and lifting your hips as you come into downward facing dog. Distributing the weight evenly between your hands and your feet as you lift your sit bones towards the ceiling, connecting to your breath. On an inhale, stepping your right and left foot forward to the front of your mat, coming into a halfway lift, lengthening your spine, opening your chest. Exhale, fold forward over your knees. Inhaling, raising your arms, reaching out through your fingertips. And exhale, you can release your hands back down. Take a deep breath. Again, connecting to your breath here. As we move into another round of sun salutation A. Again, quadriceps engaged. Connecting to your breath. On an inhale, raising your arms, joining your palms above your head, looking towards your thumbs. Exhale, fold forward over your knees. Inhale, halfway lift, lengthening your spine, opening your chest. Exhale, palms down. You can step or jump your feet back. Bending your elbows, chaturanga. On an inhale, opening your chest, upward facing dog. And exhale, lifting your hips, downward facing dog. Connecting to your breath here as you lift your sit bones towards the ceiling and draw your heels towards your mat. On an inhale, stepping your right and left foot forward to the front of your mat, coming into a halfway lift, lengthening your spine, opening your chest. Exhale, fold forward over your knees. Inhale, raise your arms, joining your palms above your head, looking towards your thumbs. And exhale, you can release your hands back down. Take a deep breath. Connecting to your breath as we move into sun salutation B. On an inhale, bending your knees, sweep your fingers along your mat as you raise your arms, coming into chair pose. Exhale, fold forward over your knees. Inhale, halfway lift, lengthening your spine through the crown of your head. Exhale, palms down. You can step or jump your feet back. Bending your elbows, chaturanga. On an inhale, opening your chest, upward facing dog. And exhale, lifting your hips, downward facing dog. Connecting to your breath. As you inhale, stepping your right foot between your palms at the front of your mat. Your right ankle and knee is in line. Your left leg is straight and engaged. As you raise your arms, coming into warrior one, imagining your inner thighs are hugging together as you reach out through your fingertips. Exhale, you can release your palms back down to your mat and step your right foot back to meet your left foot. Bending your elbows, chaturanga. On an inhale, opening your chest, upward facing dog. And exhale, lifting your hips, downward facing dog. Connecting to your breath. As you inhale, step your left foot between your palms at the front of your mat. Your left ankle and knee is in line. Your right leg is straight and engaged. As you raise your arms, coming into warrior one. Pressing down into both your feet and reaching out through your fingertips. Exhale, you can release your palms back down to your mat. Step your left foot back to meet your right foot. Bending your elbows, chaturanga. On an inhale, opening your chest, upward facing dog. And exhale, lifting your hips, downward facing dog. Connecting to your breath here. As you lift your sit bones towards the ceiling and draw your heels towards your mat. On an inhale, stepping your right and left foot forward to the front of your mat, coming into a halfway lift, lengthening your spine, opening your chest. Exhale, fold forward over your knees. Inhale, bend your knees, sweep your fingers along your mat, raising your arms, coming into chair pose. And exhale, you can release, coming to a standing position at the front of your mat. Take a couple of breaths here. As we move into the standing asanas, you can move your mats or your cameras, as I'll be cueing the positions from here. And when you're ready, making your way to a wide-legged stance on your mat, with both your feet facing forward. As I mentioned, we'll be doing some transitioning today in the standing asanas. So just be listening out for my cues. We're going to start in warrior two pose. So turning your right foot out 90 degrees, your left heel slightly in 5 degrees, and bending into your right knee so your ankle and knee is in line. Press down into both your feet. Your torso is facing me, and raise your arms to shoulder level. From here, gently turning your head to focus your gaze over your right middle finger. Pressing down into both your feet and reaching out through your fingertips. Connecting to your breath. On an exhale, release your left hand to your back leg and keeping your front knee bent, raise your right arm, coming into peaceful warrior. Again, pressing down into both your feet as you reach out through your fingertips. On an exhale, releasing that right forearm to your right knee and raising your left arm over your head, As you come into side angle pose, you can spiral your chest towards the sky as you reach out through your left fingertips. Connect to your breath. And inhale, gently coming up, turning that right heel in. Connect to your breath. We'll repeat that sequence on the other side. So this time, turning your left heel out 90 degrees, your right heel slightly in 5 degrees, bending into your left knee, so your ankle and knee is in line. Your torso is facing me as you raise your arms to shoulder level and turn your head to focus your gaze over your left middle finger. Pressing down into both your feet as you reach out through your fingertips. Connecting to your breath. On an exhale, releasing that right hand to your back leg and keeping your front knee bent, raise your left arm, coming into peaceful warrior. Again, pressing down into both your feet as you reach out through your fingertips. On an exhale, releasing that left forearm to your left knee and raising your right arm over your head as you spiral your chest towards the sky. Again, pressing down into both your feet as you reach out through your fingertips. Connecting to your breath. And on an inhale, gently come up, turning your left heel in. Taking a couple of deep breaths here. The transitioning can be tough. From here, we're just going to move into triangle pose. So for this posture, enter the posture and just connect to your breath for 5 breaths. Turning your right heel out 90 degrees, your left heel slightly in 5 degrees. Your torso is facing me as you raise your arms to shoulder level. Inhaling, leaning out to your right hand side, reaching out through your fingertips. And exhale, folding over your right knee, placing your hand on your knee, shin or ankle. As you spiral your upper body towards the sky. Connecting to your breath. And inhaling, gently coming up as you turn that right heel in. Take a deep breath. We'll repeat triangle pose on the other side. So turning your left heel out 90 degrees, your right heel in 5 degrees, keeping that left leg straight as you raise your arms to shoulder level. Inhaling, leaning out your left hand side, reaching out through your fingertips. And exhaling, folding over your left knee, placing your hand on your knee, shin or ankle as you spiral your chest towards the sky. Pressing down into both your feet and reaching out through your fingertips. Connecting to your breath. And inhale, gently come up, turning that left heel in. Take a deep breath as you join your feet together. We're now going to move into tree pose. So take your time with this posture. Starting on the right side, grounding down into your right foot. You can place your left heel above your right ankle, or further grounding into that right leg, raise your left heel and place it against the inner side of your right thigh, allowing your left hip to open out. You can place your hands together at heart center or raise your arms over your head. In whichever version you're in, grounding down into that right foot, that right leg, and pushing your left heel against the inner side of your right thigh as you lift out of your hips and energy through the crown of your head. Connecting to your breath. And exhale, release, closing your left hip, extending your left leg. We'll repeat that posture on the other side. So this time, grounding down into your left foot, you can place your right heel above your left ankle, or you can raise that right foot, placing it against the inner side of your left thigh, allowing your right hip to open out. You can place your hands together at heart center, or raise your arms over your head, grounding down into that left foot and pressing your right heel against the inner side of your left thigh. Connecting to your breath. And exhale, release, closing your right hip, extending your right leg. You can now move your mats or your cameras to how they were at the start of class, as I'll be cueing the remaining positions from here. And when you're ready, make your way to mountain pose at the front of your mat. Feet together, quadriceps are engaged. Connecting to your breath. On an inhale, bend your knees, sweep your fingers along your mat as you raise your arms, coming into chair pose, dropping your tailbone and reaching out through your fingertips, connecting to your breath. As you exhale, fold forward over your knees. Inhaling, halfway lift, lengthening your spine. Exhale, palms down. You can step or jump your feet back. Bending your elbows, chaturanga. On an inhale, opening your chest, upward facing dog. And exhale, lifting your hips, downward facing dog. Connecting to your breath here. And on an inhale, stepping your right foot between your palms at the front of your mat. We're going to move straight into warrior three. So shifting the weight into your right foot, joining your hands together at heart center. Pick a spot on the floor in front of your mat and raise your left leg out behind you, coming into warrior three. Pointing your left toes, lifting out of your right hip, connecting to your breath, and exhale. You can release your left leg back down to your mat, stepping your right foot back to meet your left foot, and lifting your hips, coming back into downward facing dog. Inhaling this time, stepping your left foot between your palms at the front of your mat, and moving straight into warrior three by joining your hands together at heart center and shifting the weight into your left leg as you raise your right leg out behind you. Grounding down into that left foot and pointing your right toes. Connecting to your breath. And exhale, releasing that right foot back behind you Stepping your left foot back to meet your right foot, dropping your knees, and from here, making your way to extended child's pose by sitting your bum towards your heels and reaching your arms out ahead. Connecting to your breath. Slow, controlled breathing. As you feel a nice release to your hips. If you'd like to make your way to a seated position, we're now going to move into the seated asanas. Starting off with Baddha Konasana, bending both your knees and drawing your heels towards your sit bones. From here, dropping both your knees out to the side, allowing your hips to open out. You can draw your heels closer towards your sit bones to intensify the stretch. Placing the palms of your hands and wrapping them around the outer edge of your feet. Inhaling, extending your spine. And from here, there's the option to exhale and fold forward, bringing your chest towards the floor. Softening your hips. Connecting to your breath. Feeling a nice stretch on the outer edge of both your hips. And inhale, gently come up and join your knees together. And from here, you can sweep your legs behind you as you move into tabletop position. We're going to move into a few more hip openers. So this time, stepping your right foot between your palms at the front of your mat and allowing your left leg to extend straight out behind you with the top of your left foot and your left knee resting on your mat. From here, inhaling, raising your arms, coming into a lunge, keeping your left knee and the top of your left foot engaged on your mat, softening your hips as you reach out through your fingertips. You can stay here, or there's the option to bend that left knee. Even bending the knee slightly is fine. Anything is progress. And try and grab the outer edge of that left foot and draw towards your bum. Again, sinking into your hips. Try and square your hips towards the front of the room. Connecting to your breath. And exhale, you can release that foot back down to your mat. And frame your right foot with your hands. Take this slowly. As you walk your hands towards your hips, focus on lifting your hips. And as you lift your hips, you'll notice your right leg naturally straightens as you lift your hips further and allow your toes to flex towards your shins. You should feel a nice stretch on your right hamstring. You can engage that right quadricep. Connecting to your breath. And exhale, bending into that right knee. Moving back into a lunge. And from here, hooking, joining your hands together at heart center and hooking your left elbow across your right knee as we move into a twist. Engaging the top of your left foot and your left knee on your mat. Connecting to your breath. And exhale, slowly release, framing your right foot with your hands, stepping your right knee back to meet your left knee. You might want to shake your hips, feeling the difference between your right and your left leg. Connect to your breath. And this time, inhaling, stepping your left foot between your palms at the front of your mat. Your left ankle and knee is in line. Your right leg is extended straight out behind you, with the top of your right foot and your right knee resting on your mat. Inhale, raising your arms, coming into a low lunge. Reaching out through your fingertips as you sink down further into your hips. Softening your hips. And from here, there's the option to bend that right knee and draw your heel towards your sit bone. Feeling a nice stretch on your right hip flexor. Try and square your hips towards the front of the room. And exhale, release your right foot back down to your mat. Framing your left foot, again taking this slowly, gently lifting your hips. And as you feel that lift in your hips, you'll notice your left leg naturally straightens. Engaging that left quadricep. And you can fold over that left knee as you flex your toes towards your shins. And on an inhale, bending into that left knee again, coming back into a lunge. And from here, drawing your hands together at heart center, hook your right elbow across your left knee, coming into a twist. Keeping the top of your right foot and your right knee engaged on your mat. Feeling a nice twist to your spine. Connecting to your breath. And exhale, release. Framing your left foot with your hands and stepping your left foot back to meet your right foot. Coming back into tabletop. Again, take a moment to shake your hips out. Connecting to your breath. We're now going to move into pigeon pose. So from tabletop, we're going to step your right knee forward, placing your right knee behind your right wrist, allowing your right foot to draw towards your left hip. You can stay on the palms of your hands or draw your elbows towards your mat. Focusing on softening your hips. Try and relax in this posture. Deep inhales. Slow, controlled exhales. Softening your jaw. And on an inhale, pressing through your hands and making your way back to tabletop. We'll repeat pigeon pose on the other side. So step your left knee behind your left wrist, allowing your left foot to draw towards your right hip as you extend your right leg straight out behind you. You can stay on the palms of your hands or rest your forearms on your mat, feeling a nice opening to your left hip, connecting to your breath. And on an inhale, pressing through your hands and drawing your left knee back to meet your right knee, coming back into tabletop. From tabletop, if you'd like to make your way to a lying position on your mat, we're going to move into bridge pose. So lying back onto your mat, draw your heels towards your sit bones, connecting to your breath, placing the palms of your hands flat on your mat beside your hips. On an inhale, pressing through your feet to lift your hips towards the ceiling, allowing each vertebrae to roll off your mat as you lift your chest towards the ceiling. There's the option to interlock your fingers and push your hands towards your heels, connecting to your breath here. Drawing your knees together and lifting out through your hips. And exhale, release, dropping your hips back down. From here, make your way to a standing position on your mat. We're going to move into squat pose to see how effective the hip openers were. So your feet are hip distance apart, and there's the option to turn your feet out between 45 and 60 degrees, whatever feels comfortable. And from here, with control, slowly bend your knees and sit your bum towards your heels. From here, you can use your elbows to push your knees apart, and at the same time, pushing your knees back into your elbows, keeping integrity in your spine by keeping your chest open towards me. Softening your hips, connecting to your breath, and inhale, pressing through your feet to make your way to a standing position. And from here, sitting down onto your mat as we prepare for shoulder stand. So lying back onto your mat, draw your knees towards your chest. And from here, there's the option to roll onto your shoulders and lift your legs towards the ceiling, pointing your toes and drawing your chest towards your chin. We'll stay here for 5 breaths. Connecting to your breath. And on an exhale, there's the option to come into Halasana by dropping your feet in behind your head. If your feet are still in the air, keep your hands on your lower back for support, or you can drop your feet in behind your head, coming into Halasana. You can interlock your fingers and push your hands away from your body, connecting to your breath here, drawing inwards. And on an exhale, bend your knees and roll vertebrae by vertebrae, dropping your hips and feet back down to your mat. To end class today, we're going to move into happy baby. So lying on your mat, draw your knees towards your chest. You can grab outer edge of both your feet with your hands and focus on drawing your knees towards your armpits, feeling a nice release in your hips, connecting to your breath. And exhale, release. As we move into the closing Shavasana, drawing your heels out at the edge of your mat. Gently lie back. Drawing your arms away from your body with your palms facing upwards. Gently bringing your eyes to close and relaxing your entire body on your mat. Preparing your body for the most important posture of class. It allows you to absorb all the benefits of your practice. Draw your awareness to your feet, relaxing your toes, the soles of your feet, your heels. Relax your ankles, your calves, the backs of your knees. Relax your hamstrings. Relax your hips, feeling them open out like a book. Relax your lower back, working your way through each vertebrae. Towards your neck. And feel your spine resting on your mat. Relax your abdomen. Relax your chest. Draw your awareness to your hands. Relax your fingers, the palms of your hands. Relax your wrists, forearms, elbows. Relax your upper arm, leaning into your shoulders. Relax your neck. Relax the back of your head. Draw your awareness to your face. Relax your jaw. Relax your tongue. Feeling your tongue draw away from the roof of your mouth. Soften your lips, feeling them slightly apart. Relax the space around your eyes. Relax your eyes, feeling them draw towards the back of your head. Soften your eyebrows. Relax the space between your eyebrows. Relax your forehead. Relax every single hair on the top of your head. Relax your entire body. Feeling the support of the earth beneath you. Relax, relax, relax. We will now move into silence. During the silence, the mind will naturally wander. There is great power in the ability to recognize the mind wandering. And during these moments, just move back to your breath without any judgment of your thoughts as we move into silence. Bring your awareness back to your body. Wiggling your fingers, wiggling your toes, moving your hands and feet. Gently move your head from side to side. Resting your head back at center. Joining your heels on your mat. Reach your arms over your head. Pointing your toes. Extending through your fingertips. And exhale, release. Gently bend your knees and roll over to your right hand side, making a cushion with your hand. And gently making your way to a comfortable seated position at the front of your mat. Keeping your eyes closed and drawing your hands together at heart center. Taking a moment to thank yourself for turning up this evening. Looking back at the intention you stated at the start of class. Did you achieve your intention? Remembering everything else you've achieved in the last hour. Rubbing your hands together, creating heat, creating energy. Place the palms of your hands over your eyes as you blink your eyes open to the darkness of your palms, and draw your palms away from your eyes as you bow your head. Namaste. Thank you, everyone.